like calling it, I call it all sorts of funny things, and it just gets people going. And once they really realize what is involved in that little form, they just love it. So, you know, Janet, what I like to start out and do is I like to talk about who you were before you started this fantastic company. So can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you were before this company and then what led you into starting it?
Okay. Well, I was just a mom of two, and merrily doing my business my work of a bookkeeper. And in 1995, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a lumpectomy and then a mastectomy for my left breast, and then I went on to join a dragon boat team.
Oh, right.
The breast cancer survivor dragon boat team from Hamilton. We're called Not a Breast. Yeah. And so we've been going since 1998. And after a while of us chatting about, you know, our concerns and our needs for products to wear, I started to get thinking about what we could do to solve our problems. And I got the idea of making a bra that was a sports bra but had pockets, because there was none at the time. And so I designed one, and I got one made. And actually, I got about three made, different styles. And all my Dragon Boat teammates tried them. And so gave me feedback, you know, this was working, that wasn't working, etc. And so I mean, I was very hesitant when I started this business, because it's tough going from, you know, just a mom and doing a 9-to-5 job, and to suddenly designing something. And I don't consider myself very creative or anything, but my teammates just kept on saying to me, you can do it, you can do it, you know. And I think they just wanted somebody else to do it, you know. So I really did take the bull by the horns, and you know, did this. It took me about 9 months to find a manufacturer, and then I found one in the backyard. I mean, the next town I found one, and who have been making my products and now for the 11 years.
And Janet, you did not have reconstruction, right? You right. Okay. Yeah. You are what we like to call flat and fabulous.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So we designed the bras, and I'll show you a sample of the bras. Please. This was the very first bra that we went with. And I know it's black, so it's hard to probably see. I'll put my hand there. And then, but what is the unique part of the bra is that the pockets open from the top.
I love that feature on that bra. I love it.
So you can put it on over your head, and then you pull it out and put the prosthesis in while you're wearing it. So it's much more user-friendly. And one of the issues was the under the arms, how wide it is, because a lot of ladies have the surgery all around that area. So this covers all of that. And it has a racer back. It's a wide racer back. This is the first one that we did. Now this one is called Aggie. And that was from one of our friends who actually did pass away from the team. And that sort of started the ball rolling. And
what a lot of people don't realize, what's great about the wider racer back is that for back support is fantastic. And you don't realize after these surgeries that your back is killing you. It hurts so bad. And when you are flat and fabulous, that is a huge adjustment to your body. huge. And you need that back support. You really, really do. That was an ingenious invention.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was that's why it's good to have the feedback from the ladies who have gone through it, because some of my friends obviously had. And yeah, so some of their feedback, and I just really gleaned all their feedback and put it into the bra. And but the funny thing was, I realized after wearing it at an exercise class that I went to, I had my silicone prosthesis in there, but when I was exercising and I laid over one of those Swiss balls, you know, the big Swiss balls, when I laid back and stretch it, and when I looked down, the silicone prosthesis was still sticking up to the ceiling, and my natural breast had gone flat, which it does, right? So I just fell off the ball laughing, because I'm just looking down and I've got this one breast sticking up and the other one laying down. And the other girls in the class are saying, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm saying, "Look at my boobs. Look at my boobs." What? So again, it was like the light bulb moment was, okay, now I've got to design a prosthesis that's going to react like a natural breast.
And you did.
And I did. So I designed the Beaner build. And believe me, we had lots of prototypes. I mean, when I look back to think what we started with, it was quite amazing. I'm not sure. Oh no, they're around at the store. The beads that we had in there, I mean, you could really feel them, but I didn't know how to make them so that you couldn't feel the beads. I mean, when you're holding the Beaner build.
Right.
So for a few years, that's what we sold, and it was really, really popular. Because of the way it reacted like a natural breast. And then as the years went by, I went from the round, which is we call it the spirit. Then we had let me just get the other one out. The heart, which is a triangle, and then we have where's it gone? Where's it gone? The angel. So the angel is like a wing. That's where the name come from, and it's so that you can point it up the chest. If you have the divot at the top, more so, or you can turn it to under the arm to give it that little bit of padding. And what we find sometimes, ladies complain about their bras rubbing them under their arm. Not generally ours, because they're so wide, but in a regular mastectomy bra, often they rub. So the angel, because it's got this little tail, it will go underneath the bra and just pull it out a little bit from this.
Right.
So that's a good feature for the angel.
Yeah, I think the misconception is that everybody's chest wall looks the same.
Yeah, and that is difficult to try and explain to people, because over the years, I've seen so many different surgeries and the results of surgeries. A lot of women are very concave. The chest, it goes in, so there's a cavity. Well, you've got to fill that cavity first before it goes into the bra cup. So you have to allow for that. So if you look on the size chart and you figure out, oh yes, I'm a size 4, but if you've got a big cavity, then you might need to have a size 5 to fill that cavity and then go into the bra cup. Because and you can also be bilateral and have different sizes.
Absolutely.
If the results of the surgery is different, then you may have to have different sizes. You may not, but you may have to. Because in 13 years later, I ended up having it in the other breast. Now, the first breast was lobular carcinoma. And I do want to emphasize that the way I found that was by myself. And I found that I had sort of lessons, you know, and listened about how to do a self-examination. And when I pulled the breast away from the underarm, there was a dimpling in the skin. And I'd heard of this. And so I was, you know, a bit concerned. I just didn't know what it was. So when I went to the doctors. Now, I had also had a scare earlier, but I went to the doctor and he said, no, it's, I had fibrocystic breasts. So they were lumpy. And he said, no, what you need to do, he said, keep an eye on it for months and see if it goes down. If it goes down, it's a fibrocyst. It may come up again the next month, but it will go down again. So it's a fibrocyst, nothing to worry about. But when I saw this dimpling, I thought, okay, don't panic. I'll wait a month and see if it goes down. But it didn't disappear. So I went to the doctors again and had a mammogram and then had the ultrasound. And sure enough, that's what it was. So that was lobular. And now 13 years later, I went for a routine mammogram, and they actually called me back. It was right over New Year's Eve, actually, all over that time, beginning of January. And they called me back because there was something suspicious. So that ended up being 2 tumors. There was the lobular, but there was also a ductal.
Oh my gosh.
So I ended up having a mastectomy on the other side as well. So I am definitely now flat and fabulous.
And you really are fabulous. I know that for a fact.
Well, thank you. And you are too. It's such a pleasure. And so I ended up having to have the chemo and the radiation and all that lovely stuff. Lost my hair and all that. So it's been quite a journey, and each time I'm learning, not each time of cancer, but each time of going through talking to people, I come up with these new ideas. And another idea that I came up with was to have an adjustable Beaner boob.
Right.
So it's the triangle shape, but it has a zip, and when you open the zip, you actually will see the beads. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, there you go. So there's the beads.
And they're so tiny. They're so tiny.
That's right. And so now what happens, these ones, the adjustable ones, are so good for ladies who are in between sizes, because we have 10 sizes of each shape, but sometimes the women are in between. So these are great because you can custom size them. And they are also good for if you're going to go through reconstruction with the implants, because as you put in the expanders in, you can take the beads out. And we also do one that is an Adjustabab Plus, which it comes in with, this is as light as a feather. So it comes with fiber fill. Mm-hmm. And once you so you can use it immediately post-surgery. And it comes with a bag of beads that you can replace the fiber fill when you're ready for some weight. So that was one of the new ones. And the other ones that are a little different are the Freedom. So it's like a 3/4 circle. So those are great for large lumpectomies and for ladies who are fairly small and they like to wear the 3/4 bras.
Yeah.
Because of the shape, it goes straight into that bra really nicely. The other thing that we do is we make ultra light. And these are made with polystyrene microbeads. So they are super, super light. They're as light as a feather. And they are good for immediately post-surgery, and they're also good for sleepwear. So you can just pop it into into the bra. Actually, our bras are good for sleeping if the ladies like to sleep with them. I find
a lot
that
of people do like to sleep in their bra. A lot of people do.
yeah, and you need something. If you've had one mastectomy, if you're laying on your mastectomy side, the breast will fall to the bed, and therefore all the chest area and the skin gets pulled. So if you wear a prosthesis, it will cushion it. So the ultralight are perfect for that. And the latest one that we've got, they're actually not in production yet, so this is a bit of a sneak preview. This is a beanie boob that is only 5 inches in diameter. We have one that is 6 inch. I'll just show you. We have one that's 6 inch diameter, and this is a 5 inch diameter. So these will suit ladies who are, I have to get my size chart out here, 32A to a 34A. So that's for the smaller ladies, and they would be the smaller cup bras. So that's brand new item that, as I say, we haven't even got them in production yet. That's a sample. And I wanted the other bras. This one is called Dinah. She's with us. Thank goodness. She's from our team. They wasn't all on. My names are not all from ladies who have passed away. It just happened to be the first one. So this is Dinah. This is the raised. It's got a narrow racer back, but it's similar to the Aggie. And the other one that we have is the Sue. Now this one has got the zip at the front, and it's all covered all the way around down the back, and it's got straight straps, so that if you wear it under a bra, under a blouse or a light sweater, it just looks as though it's a camisole.
Yeah.
So these are extremely comfortable.
And they're great for after surgery, so that you don't have to try to, put it over your head or, any of that business.
Yes, that's right. And they're actually good for when if you're having a reconstruction transflap. Don't know whether you call it that.
Yeah.
If it's a transflap, so in other words, you're going to go in flat and come out with breasts. You need something to support that. And these bras with the zip are excellent for that. I've been told by doctors that they are good ones for that. So
I can vouch for that. I had that surgery, and I can vouch for that. There's no way I could have pulled anything up over my head. I had to have something that zipped up the front, for sure.
Yeah, good. And so this one is called the Anna. So this one has got the zipper at the front, but this has got a racer back. And then we have the lovely Lorraine.
Yes. And Lorraine is a lovely lady.
She is. She's a very good friend of mine. So this one is the patterned. We have pink, we have purple, and we have black and white. And again, they all have the zip. The pockets opening at the top, so they're really easy to get on and off. And the last one, behind me, as you can see, we have a bra tank, and that is the Marsha. That's got the black at the bottom and top. And then we have Brenda, which is all one color.
The solid, yeah.
Yeah, solid color. So those are the 2 bra tanks that we have. The other thing that we have is the Enhance. Now these come in packs of 2, and they are little ones. They're only filled with micro beads, But these are good for putting under the breast to raise it up. They're good for lumpectomies, and also if you have a little bit of swelling under the arm, they call them hot spots, lymphedema, then you can put this, say, inside the bra, and it will just give that little bit of pressure, which is what they need. They're not medical. I never sell them as medical. They're not a compression product. However, if you're sort of in between, like a lot of ladies have lymphedema, but not bad enough that they want a compression garment.
Right. It's just more comfortable, plain and simple.
Yeah. So it can be very useful for that sort of thing. So that's called the Enhance. And what else? I know that the most difficult to address is the lumpectomies, because they can be anywhere on the breast.
Right.
And they're generally in the most inconvenient spot. So what we do, we have, let me see, where is it gone? Here it is. We have the round and we have the heart shape, and this is with microbeads only. This is the ultralight. But if you get a size 1 or 2, you can actually put it over the whole breast, push all the beads into the area that has the lump, has the little diva, and then because it goes over the whole breast, it makes it nice and smooth.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we try.
No, that is because we have that problem. I have tons of people that have that problem. I never thought to do that.
Yeah. And I find that sometimes when they've had reconstruction, it never ends up the same size.
Well, and I think sometimes with the silicone, it only sits in one spot. So you do need to move it and twist it and turn it to, you know, all that business. You know what I mean? Yeah. To get it where it needs to go. With that, it just kind of nestles in there.
That's right. That's right. The other thing you can use the Beaner boobs for is if you have a silicone one and maybe you need it a little bit bigger now, you can actually put a Beaner boob behind the silicone one, and it will just push it out a little bit, especially the Enhance, so that it gives it a little bit of a cushion. Because sometimes we do get the complaints of the fact that because the silicone sometimes leaves a gap, because it depends on your chest. You could get a rash, and you can sweat a little in there. So you can put the Beaner boob inside in the back of it to absorb any of that sweat and to fill in that area.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes they go hand in hand. I mean, all of our Beaner boobs you can wear swimming.
Which is so important, because a lot of women don't want to spend money on a silicone form and then a breast form for swimming. They don't want to spend it on both. No, that's right. So the Beaner boob can be used for both. Of course, they will take a little bit to dry. But what you do is you get your Beaner boob. You've been swimming. You rinse it out, and then you take a towel and you really squeeze out all the water that you can. Give it a good old rub. I mean, it's not going to hurt the Beaner boob. And then you can lay it flat to dry. Now, the bigger ones, because they do come up to a size 10, a 40, let me just see, 48D. So they can have some of the water trapped. So all you have to do is pick it up and give it a shake, and then it will release it, and it will dry very quickly. Well,
so yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
I think you have created a great product, and I am so glad that we got a chance to discuss this a little bit better. And I'm thrilled to be able to blast this around so that other people can understand a little bit more about this product and understand that it's not just, you know, a form with these beads inside of it. What do I do with it? Is it, you know, do I stick it in there or do I take the beads out, which I know you don't take the beads out. Don't take the beads out. You know, I think this is going to give everybody a better understanding what it's all about. And I cannot thank you enough for all of your help with Cure Diva and coming to the Diva Lounge and hanging out with us today.
I know, that was great. I loved it.
So I will send you the link to all of this today.
I will